The world is ending. Probably.
Alert. 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 Another bad opinion.
Let's go.
Hi, I'm the listener's mom, and I just wanted to say that Another Bad Opinion is my favorite podcast.
Let's go.
Welcome back to Another Bad Opinion, your mother's favorite podcast. We're back, baby, and better than ever. I know I didn't have an episode last week, and I know a lot of you, at least 100 people out there, are probably thinking, whoa, did Ben quit? Did he quit on the podcast? Is he done doing the podcast? I loved that podcast. Don't quit. Ben, you're so sexy. Don't quit the podcast. No, I did not quit. I had COVID. I had coronavirus last week, and believe it or not, it's not fun. I was in bed basically all week. I didn't really get any of my schoolwork done. I did essentially nothing. I binge watched The Amazing Race, which was fun. I love The Amazing Race. It's a fun little show. I watched some Olympics. I watched Susanna Schulting at 5:30 in the morning go really fast on skates. Shout out to Kristen Santos as well, USA. But Susanna, woo, that motherfucker can skate. What can I say? What else did I do? I felt really bad that I didn't have any motivation to record the podcast. I felt really bad that I wasn't getting anything done. Overall, I just felt really bad. But we're back now. The good news is right before I'm recording on this fine Thursday morning, I just double tested negative. So I'm officially COVID free. I feel good. I'm ready to take the world by storm. Speaking of storms and the world, I tried looking for news. I have two little news things. I tried. But here's the problem with all the news right now. It's all awful. There's nothing good happening in the world right now. Everything is bad. Except for one little story I found. But it's just like, fucking, there's a war about to start. We're about to have another world war. And that's not fun. Everyone in Congress is old. Like half of news is just like, this NFT sold. I don't care. I'm not fucking recording on video. I just started my video. I'm not going to restart the podcast for that. Sorry, all my video people, but it's just going to be kind of blank for a while. That sucks. Look at me. Just all over the place. It's been a whole week, 2 weeks since I've recorded a podcast. So we're back, but we have a fun little episode today. We have another email from a wonderful, wonderful listener. We have some advice. I went on r/advice and they like kind of changed. I used to just grab like the highlights at the top. They didn't have those, so I had to like actually read through it. So many of those posts are just so depressing. It's like, I guess this could maybe be funny, but mostly it's just sad. I think this is going to be my biggest downfall as a comedian. It's just that I can't joke about messed up stuff. Like, just go through r/advice. You'll see a lot of it's pretty depressing. Speaking of depressing, $1 million homes have become the norm in 481 U.S. cities this year. It's gone up by like 145, something around that. I don't remember the exact number, and I did not write it down since last year. But yeah, 481 U.S. cities, the average house cost $1 million now. And the average income is still what? Like $53K. The median's like what? 30. Those are numbers I'm pulling out of my ass, but come on, America. What are we doing? But In non-American news, where things seem to actually go okay sometimes, Belgium is implementing the 4-day work week. But not only that. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have brought this story up. I mean, I probably would have because I'm a big advocate for the 4-day work week and workers' rights and people not having to work to live. Because I think people didn't choose to be here and they should be able to enjoy their life without suffering. You hear that, Joe Biden? Something to think about. Belgium implemented the 4-day work week, but what's even cooler is that workers now have the right to ignore their boss after work. When they're not on the clock, they don't have to say shit to their boss. Their boss can ask them to do their laundry. They can say, hey, I need this report. I need this blah, blah, blah. No. No, boss. No. Not unless you give me the fucking money. Okay, buddy? I work for you 4 days a week, and that's it. That is it. Those other hours of the day, that's me. That's my time. That's old Benny Boy's time. So, Belgium, big moves. Thinking about moving to Belgium now. Where do you guys want to move? I'm moving to fucking Los Angeles. Why? Because I want to be depressed for the rest of my life. Because, I'm Ben. My passion is to become a content creator. I want to make things that make people laugh. I want to be an entertainer. I want to write movies and be an actor. Why, dude? Why? Why are you doing that to yourself? I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I knew why I was doing that to myself. But alas, look where we find ourselves. Right here, about to move to Los Angeles, where I'm going to have to pay $1,500 a month in rent. Even at $15 an hour before, not even taking taxes out, I would have to work 100 hours just to pay rent. Then I got food to eat and things to do. I'll have gas to pay, which is super expensive there. I mean, I should be more happy on the podcast. The thing is, I am happy today. This is the happiest day in a long time for me. Cause I don't have COVID anymore. It is really snowy outside where I'm from. And we do have a big improv festival tomorrow, where, my school gives us a lot of money to bring in professional teams, and a bunch of other schools come through. And, I plan it with 2 other people, and I'm the main contact, and I'm in charge of the whole thing. And now it's snowing, and it's stressing me out a little bit. I can't lie. Because, is it all going to get canceled? Is the whole thing just going to get canceled like that? That would suck. That would suck if it all got canceled. Let's move on to the email. bengivemebadadvice@gmail.com is where you can email me to get some advice. This listener is cool. They've already sent in an email before. And at the end of their email, they said, P.S. I prefer the Monday releases, showing that they actually do listen to what I have to say. Dear Ben, by the way, I'm going to preface this. I don't know how funny I'm going to be during this one. I've read it. I don't even know if I have that great of advice, quite frankly. It kind of makes me sad a little bit. Should we rename this podcast to just Ben is sad for 20 minutes? No, we shouldn't. Okay, dear Ben, my little sister has recently started drinking and vaping. That's no fun. That's no good. As someone who has drank and who doesn't vape, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's not good. I wouldn't be so concerned about this if she weren't only 13 years old. That's what makes it a little bit worse. She's a really smart and cool person, but refuses to acknowledge that this is bad for her and that nicotine is seriously addictive. I don't want to rat her to our parents and betray her trust. I know from personal experience that strict parents don't raise good kids, they raise sneaky kids. But I'm kind of worried. Sorry, something popped up. But I'm kind of worried she's going to give herself brain damage. What can I do to avoid becoming a future liver donor for my little sister? I will say the the title of this is Tales from a Future Liver Donor. So while this is a sad story, you're a creative writer and you should look into that. Man, I don't know. That's a tough one because first of all, show her this clip right here. You're 13. I know it's tough right now. I wanted to kill myself at 13, but substances are not the answer. They may make you feel good temporarily, but in the long term, they're going to make you feel bad. I know it's hard. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to get that much easier, but it's going to get easier. Every year you grow up, you're going to feel a little bit better than you did before, and you're going to figure out how to cope in ways that aren't detrimental to your brain. Your brain is so young and forming, and everything's so confusing. You got to just try your best right now to cope without substances. You got to learn healthy coping habits now. I don't know if that's going to help at all. And the truth is, I don't know how much advice there is. 13 substances is tough. I would say, let's change that. Let's have her start a new bad habit. That's what I would say. I would say no more nicotine. No. Every time you want to do nicotine, make a podcast. Every time you want to do nicotine, every time you want to inhale nicotine, just make a podcast. It doesn't even have to be well produced. Maybe it's just a voice memo, but just act like you're an insane person doing a podcast. Or another way to cope could maybe be every time she wants to smoke nicotine or drink alcohol, she does 18 somersaults. Then she'll be too tired to smoke nicotine. I guess that's actually serious advice. Maybe you should just try working out. I guess you're 13, but like go for runs or something. I don't know. That's always helped me. I really want to give good advice, but I think this might be a little bit above my, not above my pay grade. I wish I could help. I just don't think I'm only 22, you know. There's only so much I know. I'm just a guy who started a podcast because he's depressed. Oh, my parents listen to this. That must be so tough for them to hear me talk about how sad I am. I'm doing okay, guys. I promise. I'm in therapy. You know that. I'm figuring it out. Don't worry. My official advice is try to find a replacement habit. I know that's not easy. But it sounds like she's smart and cool, and it sounds like she has a good older sibling. So I think it'll be okay. But I would also maybe say, I don't know. It's tough to betray her trust, but I also think, you know, there's only so much people can do for her if they don't know. And while it might be bad, you know, she needs help. Oh, fuck. This is a depressing episode, isn't it? Let's see what advice I picked. Oh, great. I didn't even realize I did this. I also picked another sad 13-year-old story as the r/advice. That's sick. Good job, Ben. You really planned a fun podcast for people to come back to. All right. This one is from r/advice. But again, if you want your advice, not just Reddit's random people advice, you can email me at bengivemebadadvice@gmail.com. Afraid my daughter is wasting my childhood. Wasting childhood. There's not my childhood. That'd be really fucked up. Woo! That title would be fucked up. If it was afraid my daughter is wasting my childhood. Oh boy. This should never be aired if that's what it was. God. Somebody commented, because I posted my little TikTok clip, which I do that because I did that thing like 2 episodes ago. They were like, "Did you hear my burp earlier?" And I posted that clip and somebody commented, was like, oh, so you had time to edit a TikTok of you saying this, but you didn't have time to go back and edit the burp? Yeah, you figured it out. I know my limits. I know that I have to post on TikTok if I want any chance of like this podcast growing, because I know you guys aren't going to rate it 5 stars, and I know you're not going to share it with anybody. You're embarrassed. I get it. I understand. I know you don't want to share this with your friends. You should. You should share it with your friends. But I know you don't want to. So I have to post on TikTok. But hear me out. That takes like an hour for me to go through, find the highlights, which there's not many. Highlights is a tough term to call any of this. And then cut it out and then put it all on TikTok. It takes an hour. I know that doesn't seem like a lot of time, but I got a lot of shit going on. I'm a full-time student. I'm not a full-time podcaster. If I was a full-time podcaster, you better believe I would go back and edit that burp out. You better believe I would. But I don't really have time to go back and edit burps, but I do have time to edit TikToks. So maybe if those TikToks keep hitting and someday I start making some money, maybe someday I'll have a bit more time. And, eventually there will be a day where I can go back and edit burps out, or hopefully I'll have somebody to go back and edit burps out for me. But until that day comes, every time I burp, you're going to hear it. And that's life. Sometimes burps are heard. Fuck me. Okay. Afraid my daughter is wasting childhood. For about a year now, my 13-year-old daughter has become extremely future-oriented, to the point that it has become worrying. It is important to note that she has moderate to severe depression and she is seeing a therapist. She has a clear career plan and very good grades, which I am very proud of her for. However, she has also been avoiding the present altogether. She refuses to talk to people at her school or make friends. Her reasoning being that friends are a distraction from schoolwork, and she avoids joining in on activities with her friends or family. She refuses to invite friends over, and she has been requesting for a long time that she attends high school online full time. Me and my wife are considerably stricter than most parents, but we still encourage our daughter to enjoy her childhood and make the most out of it. Our daughter has protested that childhood is a waste of time and she wants to spend it planning for what really matters, the future and her adulthood. She's been thinking this way for a while and has become an area of concern. She spends most, if not all of her day looking at possible colleges or careers or doing schoolwork, but is excessive to the point where she is not enjoying the present moment and her childhood. First of all, this kid sounds like me. Oh, wait, are you future oriented? Oh, you're ignoring what's going on in the present because you're building for the future? Yes. Yeah, sure. No, you know what's really going on? Your kid's probably finding it hard to fit in. I can imagine a 13-year-old who's doing all their schoolwork probably is, on the outskirts of the social hierarchy and probably not the most popular kid in class, if you know what I mean. And I'm guessing that she's using this like adulthood idea as a way to cope. Like, oh, things will be better when I'm an adult. This is bad now, so I'm just going to plan for the future. Which, hey, Mark Zuckerberg turned out real well in terms of money. But get on Twitter, see how people are treating Mark Zuckerberg. I say, don't allow your kid to do schoolwork. Make your kid get a bad grade in middle school. Throw your kid into like a ball pit and say, swim, motherfucker. Swim right now. You better have some fun, you little 13-year-old fucker. You're not going to be a child forever. Oh, you're depressed now? Just wait. Just fucking wait till you become an adult. It's going to be way worse. No, I'm kidding. For the person in the last one, it gets better. Man, yeah. I don't know why I chose those two back to back. I don't know why. I don't even know why I recorded this episode. This is sad. Or maybe it's funny. Are you guys laughing? What I've learned throughout my life is a lot of people think that my depression is funny. because I mostly play it off as a joke. Let's not get into that. I have therapy after this. I have therapy in like an hour. I'm going to save it all for that and not put it on the podcast. Woo, I promise you guys I'm back. I know this episode might not have seemed super happy, but I'm doing good. It's 2 weeks of built up COVID, laying in bed, depression. And I guess and look at the news. Look at the news. You try to look at the news and try to find something fucking happy in it right now, because there's nothing. I wish I could come here and say, oh, these two dolphins are gay. That would be fun. I wish that there was a story about dolphins being gay and they got married at a zoo or something. That would be fun. It would be a good time, but there wasn't. All the stories are just that the world is fucked. So hopefully next week we'll have some gay dolphins get married. If you find any stories of any gay animals, please send it to me as soon as possible so I can be happy that, love is love. And no matter what species you are, no matter what, how many legs you have, no matter how many feet or hands you have, if you have thumbs or not, you can be gay, and that's okay. And that's my official advice for this episode of the podcast. I'll see you guys next week. Stay hydrated.
Let's go.